guys, my name is Lelasophia. I am an artist and fine jewelry designer. If you like contemporary fine jewelry, if you like luxury handbags, all things interiors, and I have some fun videos for you. You guys, today is a very special day. All of my videos, you know, have my heart and I think are very special, but today I am going to be sharing with you my newest collection for Lelasophia jewelry. First and foremost, if you guys are new here, thank you so much for tuning in. I can't wait to see you in all of my future videos. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram at Lelasophia Jewelry. I put out videos every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, and so I cannot wait to see you guys in the next one. Okay, you guys, I'm just gonna jump right into it. Yes, indeed, I do think that all of my collections are like my little babies. You know what's really crazy? I don't know why I just got so excited, but you know what's really crazy is that I don't know exactly when to say because when I started versus when I first launched my first piece, I'm gonna go ahead and say May of 2025, Lelasophia Jewelry will be turning 5 years old. Can we believe that my dog is turning 5 and my brand is turning 5? Where has the time been? Can you imagine when I have a human baby one day? I'm gonna be crying constantly, okay? These little momentous occasions really matter to me and it's really crazy. Anyway, so I'm turning 5. I'm 31, but my brand is turning 5 very, very, very soon. So I'm trying to think of really fun and special things, something fun to do in New York City, of course, where I live and where I'm from, for that anniversary. And leading up to that anniversary, there will probably be a collection. Just go ahead and spoil it. There will probably be something in the spring. However, I have just released my Eden collection, which I'm so excited to talk about. Like all of my collections, this is where I'm picking up where I left off before I got really excited. Like all of my collections, there's some like heady, artsy, you know, like roll your eyes story that goes along with it. And this might take the cake because my entire brand I started off of my grandmother's facial tattoos, which now I'm like debating if I should tell this story out loud, but now is even more special to me because I didn't even realize a member of my family told me that, like, especially, you know, in the modern age, Amazigh, you know, Moroccan tattoos. For those of you guys who are new, I'm Moroccan. My dad is Moroccan, lives there, has lived there my whole life, his whole family, you know, generations and generations, yada, yada, yada. I guess I'm technically like indigenous North African and a little West African, but like Morocco is one of the most diverse, you know, countries in the entire world, and not that many people know about the nuances of it. And so my entire brand is very much so based off of that. It's my own self-exploration because I didn't have any chance to understand or know or meet any member of my family until I was in my 20s. And so it's really a self-discovery. You know, I made this brand so that everybody can feel like they can discover themselves at any age. Ugh, we're getting poetic and cliche already. And I didn't know that, I knew that like my family members were like hush hush weirdly about my grandmother's tattoos. And when I was 20 years old, I met her for the first time and I was like, nobody told me that this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Nobody told me this. And so essentially I only just found out that like it was some like kind of secretive, embarrassing thing that like the modern world didn't want to have. And I'm very proud of our generation because it's not just me. I guess I'm now shouting out my dear friends because there is I almost was about to start crying. I'm not going to. There's an amazing tattoo artist who is bringing our culture back. I started getting Amazigh tattoos right after my first trip there when I was like 22, 21. And there's an incredible jewelry designer who also, like, we're sisters. It's crazy. All three of us come from completely different parts of the world, yet one or both of our parents are Moroccan, and wanted to celebrate our family members, especially women, because women were really we're the only people getting tattooed. We wanted to re-celebrate that and kind of big that energy up and give that energy beautiful, beautiful new life. And so to find designers and tattoo artists who like we all had the same idea but in different corners of the world at the same time is very, very, very special to me. So I guess I'm going down a rabbit hole already, but in case you're new, I have to explain my little story. So a lot of my collections, I'd say the first like 5, 4 particularly, were about Morocco, my self-discovery, my journey with understanding my own family, understanding myself. I've always been the little black sheep in my family. I'm the only person of color in my family here in America. I had a, you know, I think it's really beautiful. I really, every day I'm discovering new sides of myself that I'm super grateful for. And then I've dibble-dabbled, you know, gone off into my own little weird offshoot collection, shall we say. And at the end of the day, I am a really annoying, poetic, cliche artist and writer and songwriter. If you guys know, I'm originally a musician, and so all that art has to come out somewhere. And even though it's like the avant-garde side is what I really started with, I have been toying with this idea for so long. And I finally figured out how to do it. So with this Eden collection, I think I've been, this year in particular, more than any year, obviously there's a lot going on in the world, and they're just, it's a fascinating, obviously fascinating a lot of times in a really horrible way, but fascinating nonetheless, study of how people relate to themselves, how people relate to each other. You know, it's really difficult sometimes to have very conflicted opinions and points of view of with your own family members and people that you know and love. And so I really have been exploring in kind of a, you know, non-biased way, the relationship between the ego and the self. And I told you this was going to get real heady. So this entire collection is based around that idea, that exploration, that relationship between our ego, our human side, our very earthly desires, and our self, our soul, our higher selves, however you call it, our kind of like inner pure self that is nothing but light and love, you know? The whole, oh, like wings and, you know, little baby cherub and halo above your head, that beautiful, beautiful part of yourself. And so I've toyed with 3 ideas that I've implemented into this collection. First is probably the most obvious, because the 7 deadly sins I've been fascinated with for so long, because I think it's kind of cool in certain ways, and I hope I'm not offending anybody, but I think it's a really interesting study of what it is that you're like gutturally drawn to, that your humanistic side is drawn to, whether it's greed or lust or gluttony or sloth. Sloth, by the way, is actually a representation not of laziness, but of someone like not seeking a higher sense of self, a higher power. A religion, a spirituality is kind of like being so entrapped in your ego. That's what sloth represents. And so I was like, oh my God, this is so fascinating and so interesting. I want a way to capture those 7 deadly sins. And the other 2 ideas, kind of ancient stories or tales of ego and the self. The iconic Pandora's box, which originally was an ancient style jar, Exhibit A of what I'm wearing right now, of course showing on the screen, and then the Garden of Eden. All of these things kind of tie together as stories that we've been told as kids or learned about or read about, that I always found so utterly fascinating, of like, why do we want the things that we want? And why do my opinions sometimes differ than others? And should I work on myself, or is this something that I should bring out of myself more? And so the entire collection, I told you, I warned us. It's very, you know, me going to a museum and having a 2-hour conversation about the Rothko, about the Monet that we just saw. It's very me of me, okay? I'm very excited to share with you guys. I think embodying those 3 things and turning them into little pieces of wearable art, I think is like the whole purpose of me putting it out there in the world is to remind us in a non-judgmental way, hopefully, of that dance between ourselves, because there is kind of always a dance happening. I tend to be very, as I talk about, I joke about, but like I tend to really try so hard to only look at the positives in life, to only look at the beauty, only look at the loving side of life, only look at all those things. And then, you know, life really happens, and I still do trust me, through the tryingest times, I still look at the love and light and beauty and protective aspects of everything. And then I say to myself, I'm like, but I'm here, and you have to appreciate that you're human as well, and you have to appreciate those desires that you don't really know why they're in you. And so I thought, in some cute little fun, completely just like genuinely meant to be not whimsical or silly, but meant to be kind of tokens, as jewelry has always been. You guys know I'm very inspired by ancient ancient jewelry and ancient art, jewelry has always been worn as tokens, as reminders, as beautiful amulets, as things that you collect along your journey. And so I think it's just a really, that's what I hope people interpret this collection as, is understanding, oh my gosh, I've really wanted to work on me always wanting to seek and find, right? And always wanting to know and always wanting to open up Pandora's jar, so to speak. The pendant will help you maybe anchor yourself, or will help you unleash that side of yourself. I think that it's a playful, that's a good word, it's a playful and yet still very meaningful way to dance around that idea. And hopefully, I think that this is what I want to land with, is to honor the idea that we are dual beings, that we do have an ego and a self, and it's really, really, really kind of cool, and we can work with it, and it doesn't always have to be so sinful. It doesn't always have to be so bad, in my humble opinion, that there is good at the end of every single tunnel, I swear. And so this is my new collection, the Eden collection. I had to wait to do this video only until my newest campaign images came back, and I am like, it sounds like I'm like bigging up myself for taking all the photos, but Moon, you guys hopefully just watched my last video with Moon. And when I tell you, I'm just so grateful for you, Moon. I'm so grateful for that woman, because I am a particular kind of human being, and what I put my brand name on, I just have such a very specific vision, and Moon is the easiest person I've ever worked with. My brother and Moon, I have shot so many, Moon this is our second shoot together, my poor brother. I call up on the phone constantly, especially when I owned a men's fine jewelry store. He was my go-to model. It is a joy and pleasure to work with both of those human beings, and Moon just embodied everything that I wanted in this shoot, and it was like 2 seconds and such a pleasure and such a joy. So I hope you guys like the campaign images. I hope you guys like the pieces. I'm landing with, I said I was about to land, but just to say, I am fully aware of the fine jewelry price point. I know I try to keep it as low as possible for you guys, but we are in a gold crisis right now, and the price of gold has risen a terrifying amount only since the summer, only in the last like 2 months. And so the prices are the prices. It's just what it is. And so this is my just quick little disclaimer that more and more and more, whether it be a bag charm or an arm cuff or something, I'm going to start implementing really beautiful sculptural pieces, not in whatever I would traditionally consider to be fine jewelry, so 14 or 18 or 22 karat, but I'm gonna be doing more brass pieces that I can have a little bit more fun with and make like really cool, chunkier, larger pieces, so that I can have a little bit more of a range while still being a fine jewelry company. So that's coming. I swear, including, maybe I'll have it dropped by then. I'm going to do a Pandora's jar necklace in brass, so that hopefully I can offer a little bit of a range in pricing, because the fine jewelry industry is a crazy world, okay? I chose a crazy career to be in, and I just had to put that in there because I know people are gonna be like, oh my God, this is insanity. So I'm trying to give as many size options as possible. We have a small, medium, and large medallion. I'm trying, guys, but I'm really excited for what's to come, and I'm not gonna give anything away, but there is something that I've never done before that's in the works. And that's all I'm gonna say. And I'm really excited about it. I love you guys so much. Thank you first and foremost, genuinely, for letting me share this with you guys. And I can't wait to hear your thoughts. You guys are amazing as always, and I cannot wait to see you in my next one. Bye, guys.